Let's talk about Pokemon Unite. This is a game that I anticipated a lot. And I'm going to flat out say it right now before I get angry hate comments. I love the game. I thoroughly enjoy every second of playing this game. In the same way that I enjoy games of League of Legends, meaning I've got a love-hate relationship with it, but it's fine. That means I have an overall positive experience with the game. I will say that graphically, the game looks fine. It's nothing outstanding, but it doesn't have to be. It's a MOBA. To give a little bit of experience for me, I am a big MOBA fan. Specifically of League of Legends, but I've also played stuff like Paladins as well. So I'm going to be using League as a direct comparison for me. MOBAs are lifestyle games. When you get into one, you don't generally get into many more. Just like when you're playing an MMO, you don't get into multiple MMOs. You get into one. So a lot of my comparisons will be League. But ultimately, I think that's fine. The game is ultimately owned by Tencent, and they also happen to own League, so point is, right now, they are both held under Tencent's umbrella. So comparisons between the two, completely and totally apt. But let's go ahead and talk about the interface in Pokemon Unite. So when I play a game with an opening interface, the first thing that comes to my mind is, dear God, this loading screen is taking forever. Why is it taking... Okay, so there's a lot of loading screens in Pokemon Unite, and certain things load that shouldn't, and it's really bad. But they have buttons mapped for everything. So if I want to open up friends lists and stuff, I press X. If I want to open up my character stuff, I press L. Kind of. I had to tap it 3 times for it to work. To check my level system, I press R to go through. But actually selecting any of these things manually is a bit of a pain in the ass. I can't select those things the same way I would with, say, a mouse cursor. It feels like a game that was developed for mobile devices as well as Switch at the same time, which we know is the case. But let's talk about some of the problems where the game is concerned. Interface is a bit weird. One thing that you're going to find when you're playing is that there's a lot of button mappings that will throw at you even in games, especially when you're doing things like super jumping, and those button maps all feel random. When it's press A on this, use the right stick specifically to click over here, and then press the ZR button to jump, it's gonna feel weird, and it's a thing that eventually you map down to muscle memory, but the simple idea of confirm the thing with the A button does not factor here. You're gonna have to unlearn muscle memory to gain muscle memory for Unite. But let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room. The shop system. So, again, I said my direct comparison would be League of Legends. You earn currency in both games at about the same rate. League of Legends uses Blue Essence, Pokemon uses Eos coins. The base Pokemon in Pokemon Unite costs 6,000 Eos coins. Would you like to know what a base champion in League costs? 450 Blue Essence. And again, remember, you earn these things at about the same rate. I earn Blue Essence and I earn Eos coins at the same exact rate. But apparently the economy in Pokemon Unite from the get-go are so fucked that their cheapest Pokemon cost as much as the most expensive League champions. The most expensive champions in League cost 6,300. Unless it's literally the week of release, in which case they cost 7,800. Which is the equivalent of a mid-tier champion on Pokemon Unite. You might spend 10,000 on higher-end things like Garchomp and Lucario. There's another game that I've played in this genre that has this same problem, and I hate it just as much for the same reasons. Heroes of the Storm. For those of you who loved Heroes of the Storm, I'm just going to say right now, the character unlocking progression in that game is just as sluggish, just as bad. I see no problem doing direct comparisons with League here. There's no reason you should not be able to have budget characters available for people. wait, there are characters that you can get for free. Like, you can get Zorora for free as a special event for the game starting. You can get Crustle for free for playing for 7 days straight. You can get, there's an event right now to get Alolan Ninetales. Cool. But many of these events are temporary, and they will end. Not to mention the fact that this is a game that is going to have more Pokemon coming out in perpetuity, ideally. As a game that's going to be released on mobile platforms and other things, this game does not have a lifespan that is connected to the Nintendo Switch. So in an ideal world, more Pokemon will be released for this game as time goes on. Will we see Pokemon drop in price that have been in the game for a long time? Who knows? But I think that's an important thing to actually do. The different types of Pokemon you'll have in the game are attackers, defenders, speedsters, and supporters. Supporters work the same way as they do in MOBAs. Speedsters are the assassins of the game. Defenders are your tanks and bruisers. Well, they're really just your tanks. And attackers are anything from what you would consider a ranged AD carry to a bruiser. And then all-rounders, which are all bruisers. All of them are. Venusaur can also be considered a bruiser. Cinderace can be played like a bruiser. But all the all-rounders are definitely bruisers. So if you're used to MOBA terminology, there's your comparisons there. Now, I've already pointed out that Pokemon cost a ludicrous amount of Aos coins. But in League, if I want to afford a 6,300 champion, I could play 5 or 6 games of League a day for about a week, and then I'd probably be able to afford a 6,300 character from that. If not, get nightmarishly close to it. But you can't do that in here. You see, despite the fact that these Pokemon cost 6,000, they are impossible to grind. What? That doesn't make any sense, you say? It's impossible to grind these Pokemon out in the game that incentivizes me to play multiple games in a row to actually get them? Yes, it is impossible to grind them. The game will not allow you to. Because you are only allowed to get 2,100 Aos coins a week. So if I want Snorlax, I will have to play the equivalent amount of games to get 2,100 coins for 3 weeks. This means that a 10,000 coin character will take me a month and a week in order to get. And then I'll have 500 Aos coins left over to spend on bubblegum, I assume. Before we continue with the video, I want to go ahead and throw out that fun reminder that we are on YouTube, so if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. It would be an immense help for the channel, and those numbers really do mean a lot. And if you want to catch any of what goes on this channel live, then the best thing you can do is head over to Twitch and hit that follow button over there so you can know when I go live there. Alrighty, I'll stop taking up your time here. Back to the video. Why? Why is that a thing? Why have a coin cap? If I want to play your game, and I want to play your game enough to unlock all your characters, let me. You're going to be releasing new characters over time. See, here's the thing. We've already gotten our first new character in a month. We've gotten Blissey. We're getting Sylveon and Mamoswine in 2 weeks. If we're going to get a character every week or two, but the cheapest characters available require at least 3 weeks of grinding to get because of the coin cap system, you can see where this is going. It is impossible to get all the characters playing free-to-play. I have to repeat that. It is impossible. Not, oh, you can get it eventually. No. It is literally. The game is engineered to make it impossible to get every character being a free-to-play player. Even if you drop $60, the equivalent of buying a brand new game to get yourself a bunch of starting characters, the characters will release at such a rate where it will still be impossible for you to get them all, relying on free-to-play methods. Despite the fact that you've already spent a bunch of money on the game. Comparably, again, a game like League, you could get every character in that game feasibly playing. And there are over 100, about 150, I want to say, in that game. Way more than in Pokemon. And yet, with currency being unlocked at the same rate, with one exception, League doesn't have a cap on how many points you get in that game. You can feasibly get all the characters in free-to-play mode. Usually, in a MOBA, the way that you make money is by incentivizing people to buy skins. And of course, the game does have skins. We can spend the equivalent of $10 and get ourselves Hero-style Greninja, or Magician-style Mr. Mime. We can even get a Dapper Absol. We can get a Gardevoir, who I will probably be spending money on, because I love Gardevoir for, please don't look up Gardevoir on DeviantArt reasons. But here's the thing. Despite the availability of these skins, they have decided that instead of focusing their efforts on making skins for characters and monetizing those, they would like to monetize the base game. You see, in a MOBA, the way it should work is that a free-to-play player has access to all the same tools as a pay-to-play player does. Aesthetics, however, things that do not change the gameplay experience. These are the things that should be costing money. However, in here it is both characters and skins that are incentivized to be purchased exclusively with real money. Because if it was not incentivized that way, they wouldn't have a coin cap. The currency to be a free-to-play player would not be capped off for you, but things get better. You see, there are these things in the game called items. These, if you're used to playing MOBAs with build paths, in League of Legends you can buy up to 6 items, not counting your ward, and you can build them up during a game. And the different variations of characters that you play are based on the items that you decide to buy in the shop. Pokemon works a little differently. This is a game that wants to be played by kids. This is a game that benefits from not being anywhere near as complicated. Now, what does that mean? This means that instead of getting items in a shop in the middle of battle, these items will instead be held on my Pokemon. So if I go item prep, trying to remember which one it is. I'm sorry. Battle prep, held items. Here's the setup on my Gardevoir. I use a Muscle Band, a Shell Bell, and Wise Specs. The Muscle Band increases my auto attack damage. The Shell Bell increases my special attack damage and lets me self-heal. And the specs allow me to have a massive increase in special attack damage and cooldown reduction. These are the things you would find on items in a shop in a regular MOBA. They are instead given to your Pokemon before any fight. And each Pokemon you can customize. They have 3 item slots. They function exactly as items do in League of Legends. However, you put them on before the fight instead of during the fight. Now, in League of Legends, we can upgrade items and make them better. You can do that in Pokémon Unite as well. Here, let me show you. So in Pokémon Unite, we have 3 currencies at work. 4 currencies, actually. We have Eos coins, of which I have 2,520. We have fashion tickets, of which, or we have these tickets. I don't remember if they're called fashion tickets. No, fashion tickets are a different currency. There's multiple currencies. Fashion tickets are a currency. We also have a different kind of ticket. I don't even remember what they are called. I really don't. But these tickets, now, these are important. These tickets are used to purchase all these items. I own them all because I purchased them with my tickets. They are also used for purchasing fashion items for your character. I want to have my character look like this, like they're in a rain poncho? Cool, I can use those tickets for them. These are the kind of things that real-life currency can be used for as well. That's fine. These things don't affect gameplay. I'm okay with that. But items have a level. If I go back to my item box, we'll have to go item prep here, actually. Battle prep, held items, all held items. My wise glasses are at level 16. Every time I upgrade the wise glasses, the special attack they give my Pokemon will go up. The upgrade effects on them are here as well, though. At level 1, my special attacks increase by 3% by wearing them, over and above the flat upgrade they give. At level 10, a 5% boost, and at level 20, a 7% boost. You can get items to level 30, by the way. And I've gotten most of mine as close to level 10 as I can get, with the exception of the items that I just purchased literally yesterday. So, how do I level up these items? Well, you use item-enhancing coins. Seems simple enough. How do I get item-enhancing coins? Well, you can get some by leveling very slowly. Very, very slowly. You can get some from the gacha machine. The gacha machine will give you like 5 or 10. Or I could get item-enhancing coins in the shop. And I could use tickets. Tickets are not in-game tickets are in-game currency, so this is a thing I should theoretically be able to farm for. Not a problem, right? I can just spend, instead of spending those tickets on swag for my character, I'll just spend them on item enhancers to make my items better. Cool. But there's a hidden menu here. You see, this only says that I can spend tickets on it, but items that can only have tickets spent on it, if you decide to buy, let's say I want 50 item enhancers, mind you, it costs me 56 item enhancers to level up my specs from 16 to 17. I could spend 500 tickets. That would take several matches to get. Or I could spend 50 Eos gems. Now wait, hold on a minute. That was not one of the options here. It was only tickets. But if you don't have enough tickets, it's fine. Just use those gems. Now, Eos gems. About 60 Eos gems is about $1. You can get a ×2 multiplier the first time you buy them. I have not bought Eos gems yet. So to upgrade my specs once, it would cost me about $1. And then about $2 to upgrade them again. And then about $3 to upgrade them again. And getting them all the way to 40 or to level 30 would cost me about $40. Roundabout. How many items are there in the game? Well, let's assume that I want to play multiple types of characters, as this is a video game that incentivizes me doing that. For all the items in the game, it would take me about $640 to enhance them all. Now, $640 is a ludicrous amount to spend on a basic thing for the game. You see, again, in MOBAs, spending a ludicrous amount of money is not a bad thing. I've spent over $600 on League of Legends, on skins, on various things to make things more fun for me over the course of 10 years. But starting out Pokemon Unite right now, if I want to be at the same level as everyone else once I hit the level required to play ranked, I must spend over $600 to get every item fully upgraded. Now, buying the individual Pokemon, I don't care about. I'm upset that there's only 2,000 coins available per week. I can grind out 2,000 coins in a day. So I'm upset that Pokemon are pigeon-held, but that's less atrocious. Because I could get one Pokemon for every role, and then I'm fine. You can do that in League too. Get one champion for every role, specialize on those champions. You're going to be way better than somebody who plays all the champions on the roster willy-nilly. So despite the fact that the 2,000 coin limit is ludicrous, it is at least not as bad as this. If I had to spend real dollars in a shop in League of Legends to upgrade my items in battle, to play at the bare minimum amount, to have the same raw numbers as other players, would you consider that fair? I would not. I would call that pay to win. Now, I understand that there are a handful of people, and by handful, I mean a lot of people, who try to say that it's not pay to win because they managed to get to expert class and rank. They managed to get to veteran. They managed to get to Pokemon Master. They managed to get to, whatever high rank they got to doesn't matter. The actual rank they got to does not matter. What matters is the fact that you can spend money to influence your stats at all. If I can spend money to influence my stat, your game is pay to win. No ifs, ands, or buts. And you can't just say, oh, well, you can grind out enough to make it happen. No, you can't. Because the game artificially limits the amount of things you can get. You can only get a set number of tickets by having events. Here, let me claim 50 tickets right now. Isn't that wonderful? That's 5 item-enhancing coins. For the 50 required for my item. So, if my game that I play competitively with other people, if those people can pay $640 to get a statistical advantage over me, your game is pay to win. No ifs, ands, or buts. You want to argue about whether it's pay to win in the comment section? Go right ahead. But now let's talk about kids. Skins being monetized? Fine. That's fine. Pokemon being monetized? That's worse. But if you're a kid, and you find out that real money could have influenced your ability to win a game, and you don't have access to that real money, you're going to start trying to get real money from your parent so you can win. You haven't learned financial responsibility yet. This is a game that is aimed at kids. And while I don't think that's the strongest argument in the world, it doesn't change the fact that the game is, in fact, aimed at children at some level. The game has no less than 5 different ways of paying for items. There's a currency for the gacha system, that you can spend real-life money in order to get more gacha pulls. There's a currency for leveling up your items, but you can spend real-life money to level up the items faster, or, at all, given the rate that you can upgrade them freely. There's a currency for buying fashionable items, and that one should be influenced by real-life currency. It's aesthetics. The characters you play in the game are bought with yet another different currency. But don't worry, you could just use real-life currency. Why would you implement so many different types of currency into your game, only to have them all have the ability to be defaulted into real-life currency, except to make a complicated wall that is difficult to navigate, that can be more easily solved by throwing dollars at it? Winning games of Pokémon Unite is more easily solved by throwing dollars at it. Unlocking characters in Pokémon Unite is more easily solved by throwing dollars at it. There's even a battle pass system. Most games don't go for this many types. It has a mission system. It has a battle pass system. It has an event system. It has a gacha system. It has a buy direct system. It has sub-currencies to upgrade other things. But do not worry, all of these things can be bypassed with your dollars. Let me reiterate, I love this game. I've played several hours of it. Enough to get to level 15, enough to get to expert level, And while I'm sure there's going to be people who are veteran level or ultra level who are going to say, ha, you're just mad because you couldn't get to our ranks, I don't care. I can't get above gold in League, and I don't find the same problems in League. And again, League is a perfectly viable direct comparison. I am of the opinion that despite how much I love this game, and despite how good it is, and I'm going to do a different video talking about the things that I do love about this game, talking about my favorite ways to play different characters, I will just gush about the things that I enjoy in this game. But despite all of that, I cannot get over the fact that this has one of the most predatory monetization systems of any game I've ever played. The only thing more predatory than this is the stupid time-gated mobile game, just pay $1 for our starter kit bullshit that happens in almost every mobile game that somehow looks like a clone of Evany Online now. Those are the only things that I think are more predatory than what is in Pokémon Unite. But even those things, even those ones, do not usually have 5 billion different kinds of currency that can all be deciphered quicker with $1 than it can with a magnifying glass. And again, this is a game that I love. But I'm going to criticize it where that criticism is due. And the monetization system in Pokémon Unite is predatory, it is unnecessary, and it is opaque as shit. If you're going to monetize your game, and you should because your developers need to get paid for the work they do, 2 types of money. A type of money for spending on in-game things with in-game currency, and a type of money for buying aesthetic things with real-life currency. And a few of the things that are required for in-game can be bought with real-life currency, like Pokemon, and a few of the things that require real currency should be able to be bought with in-game currency, like skins. There should be a little bleed over, and that's fine. But having all of these different monetization systems that are found in multiple different styles of games all clash into a single one that can all be deciphered by the almighty dollar feels predatory to me. And it feels wrong. And it's in a game that I love and a franchise I adore. But now I gotta throw it back to you. What do you guys think? What do you think about this? I have my problems with it, and again, I'm gonna do a more positive video on Pokemon Unite later. But for now, I want to know what you think about the monetization of Pokemon Unite. And you know what? If you want to bitch about the game not being pay to win because you didn't spend a single dime, and you got to whatever rank you want to throw out, fine, go ahead. Throw it in the comments section too. I'd love to hear it. And I might even argue with you. Till then, if you want to support the channel and what I do, you know how to do it. There's ways in the description. With all that said, insert end of video tagline.